England win the first test against New Zealand. However, the biggest story coming out of Lords might actually not even be the cricket. Welcome back to the Casual Observer. This is your cricket segment of the pod. We're going to be going through England, New Zealand, India, Afghanistan, Australian squads for Bangladesh, and DanLawrence from Surrey demolishing poor Hampshire. But first, we'll dive into New Zealand and England. Love me some Test cricket. Hope you do too. We'll get to what that headliner was, but hey, New Zealand crumble, England demolish. I'm not really sure. What do you take out of that game? Let's start with the pitch. What the fuck? Bit like Perth, bit like Melbourne in the Ashes. Just the ball doing too much. Love it for the bowlers. Don't get me wrong. They occasionally need a little something for after some of those flat pitches where we've had 5-day draws. You know, I'm thinking about India, England last year. Entertaining series, not much for the bowlers. So it's good for them to get one back, respect. But again, I fully agree. If this was in India, there'd be an outcry of, you know, this is a shithole pitch and blah, blah, blah. So you got to stay consistent, you know. This is too much seam movement. First ball of the test rolls along the ground. You're like, this is fucked. So, hey, we got through 4 days, thankfully, to rain. So, you know, they can at least say, oh, we got 4 days. You really got 2, but, you know, however you want to spin it. England won by 115. Ollie Robinson's your player of the match. 30 runs, 7 for 77. A lot of sevens there. Go play some slots, man. But Amelia Gay surely was close as well as he... I think the only batsman to score... Oh, no, Brooke also got a 50, but Amelia Gay got 57, second innings, and was, huge factor for England winning this game. But, Stuart Broad after the game definitely said something. You know, he said Test cricket isn't for everyone. The pitches shouldn't bring everyone into it, bowling-wise. Because even on a flat pitch, a batsman can still fuck up. So... the batsman gets separated here, but the bowlers, everyone looked amazing. Kyle Jamieson looked short of a gallop, and he still took 5 for in the first. Nathan Smith was the only one that actually had some bowling in that Ireland match, and he looked amazing. Out of the English side, I don't think Shoaib Bashir bowled an over. What the fuck was he doing there? Where was Sonny Baker or Matt Fisher? Rian Ahmed for the batting. That's a bad selection. In my opinion. But let's dive into it. As I said, England win within 4 days thanks to rain. Classic England weather. Not that many of their county matches have been impacted by rain. In the first, April and May. But of course we get to June and fucking pours down. So thanks, England. The pitch, I think it was the most number of bowls. I think it was 24. Since ever, 1888. It was the shortest amount of cricket at Lords since 1888. It wasn't good. It was, again, this was one of those where even the commentators are saying, there's not many batsmen that have done much wrong to get out. I think you can maybe think of 2 or 3, Gus Atkinson popping one up. Was it Jamieson to mid-wicket? There wasn't much. I mean, 3-4 players got done leaving one that cannoned into the stumps. You barely see that once a series, let alone 4 times in one game. So there was plenty of movement here. Good time to fill your boots as a bowler, but I would say the overall rating of this pitch is going to get demolished. A lot of talking points out of this. First of all, what the fuck were New Zealand doing? Were they undercooked? I know I guess you can call it a minority nation in terms of Test cricket, not being part of the big 3, India, England, Australia. But, look, they haven't had a lot of tests. England haven't played since, January. So I don't think that's an excuse. the biggest question is, can the smaller nations stay sharp with such little red ball cricket? Like, it doesn't help. It's a big global issue. They played against Ireland. They had a few days for most of their squad, apart from the players in the IPL, to kind of, switch on, get your training and get your loads up. They looked rusty, slow to adjust, sloppy in the field, 5 drop catches. And then just silly game plan. Like, what the fuck was the lack of intent for in that second innings? It was so clear. Like, I'm sorry, but I get very passionate about this. So fucking clear that the best way to play and survive on this pitch was to get the runs and not just look to survive. There was a ball with your name on it every so often, pretty much sooner than later. And New Zealand, Tom Latham, I actually don't know why he got ridiculed. Comes out in the second innings. Yes, he flashed at a wide one, third ball of the innings, snicked off the second slip. Harry Brook takes a good catch. Everyone's like, oh, it's a poor shot. He's a captain. He's looking to set the fucking tone. All right? Switch on here, commentators. If he gets that away for 4, everyone's saying, great shot. Look at this guy leading from the front. Okay, he sneaks off. The process is correct. And analytically, if we're going back to basketball, he's not Kenny Atkinson. He's not saying we've won two or three games. And if you don't follow the NBA, apologies. But the process is right. He knows you have to score these runs before the ball gets you. And yeah, probably a little soon to be swinging that one as an opener. And Tom Latham's not the most aggressive person. So probably the wrong player to be doing it. But he was leading from the front. And so yes, he sneaks off third ball in the chase. What were they chasing? 250? Yeah, I didn't respect the fact that people ripped into him, because then the rest of the order shut up shop. Apart from Glenn Phillips, who was, hey, come straight over from the IPL, got that positive intent. That's the kind of player he is. Fuck yeah, Glenn, you get it, my boy. But yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words. What the fuck? Just have some intent, have some fucking balls. Like Daryl Mitchell. He at least walks at bowlers. But then Jamie Smith comes up, much to Ollie Robinson's chagrin. He wasn't happy about it, but fuck, it got results. Daryl Mitchell's gone next ball, like kicking his stumps, basically. LBW, mind you. Walked across it, plumb as anything. It's just, look, you come up to the stumps, all right, he can't walk. You can still do other things to get aggressive. You don't have to just plant your big pad right in the middle of the stumps. I'm getting off track. Yeah, look. Devon Conway was lucky to survive. He had a bunch of shots that where his bottom hand came off the bat, flew through gully point. On another day, his 41 is 3. Look, Will O'Rourke got an absolute peach to end day 2, sorry. He's a night watchman, though. To get a peach and a night watchman, that would get most batters out. Not at all having a shocker against Will O'Rourke. He's there to survive the day, and he did his job. Kane Williamson, looking to pounce on anything that was short, wide, shit, half volley. And he did. And then he had probably the worst review of this series, even with 2 games to go. It was so plumb, but because it's his last game at Lord's, reviews did make a difference in the end, but yeah, not great. And then, yeah, day 3 is affected heavily by rain. Ratcha Ravindra gets one that stays a little low, but I wouldn't have said was unplayable. He had the worst game. If we did ratings out of 10, he would be a -5. 2 drop catches, some poor fielding, a golden duck, and then bowled for, 10? Just no contribution in this match. And there's a lack of cricket from Ratchan because he hasn't even played in the IPL. He just sat on the bench. But yeah, it was just, Tom Blundell, a bit too herky-jerky. The only one that looked half decent was Glenn Phillips. I think he got 34 in the first innings, 44 not in the second innings. Probably could have got a 50 if he ran some of those 2s when he was batting with Matt Henry, but Matt Henry didn't have the greatest of backs either, so I can understand why he didn't. But yeah, I would just say New Zealand. Yeah, their fielding was shithouse. Some of their tactics weren't great. I would say, look, it doesn't help that Matt Henry went down with an injury 4 overs into the game. But yeah, the blueprint was there. Bowl top of off. You don't need to change your plan to go to short shit. Every time someone bowled short, it fucking went the journey. Just ask Kyle Jamieson. And then, yeah, when you're batting, just show some fucking toughness, some balls, take it on. Ask Glenn Phillips, ask Daryl Mitchell, ask Tom Latham, like, hey, can I borrow some? Because far out, the rest of the batters made this look it was a difficult pitch. I'm not taking away from that, but there's some shit that you guys can just, anyone with a pair of eyes can see the only way to score runs on this is to have a go. Harry Brook got 56 in the first innings. Yes, he got dropped twice, but he was having a go. The rest of the batters from New Zealand can just say, geez, thanks for coming. What a waste of time that was. Blame the pitch if you want, but I think your mindset's more to blame and your fielding. Dropping Brook on 8, he goes on to get 56. Yep, there's already 48 runs. Rachin Ravindra dropped a couple. He dropped Brook and then he dropped Duckett. There's enough there to say New Zealand could have quite easily won this, but they had enough, you can blame the lack of Test cricket. I think it's just, I think some of the catches they dropped were very, very simple. So it's not a lack of cricket, they just fucked up. 5 drop catches. I don't expect them to drop 5 for the rest of the series. There's still 2 games left. But yeah, going down like that when I said, New Zealand aren't write-offs was embarrassing. Would love to see, I said the scoreline now is going to be England 2-1. So, looking right in that aspect. But yeah, sorry. I spent way too long on that first talking point, but damn, they got away from me. Ollie Robinson, is he back as England's best Test seamer? Hard to say. I wouldn't say yes. There's no Jofra, no Bryden Cass. I thought Tongue was pretty fucking good. Gus got 5 in the second. He looked much better in that second innings than the first. I wouldn't say he's the best seamer because anyone looked pretty good in that pitch. As I said, Kyle Jamieson looked out of sorts for the first 3 overs and then he got 5 for. So hard to say. I think we need to see them on a proper 50-50 pitch. What I mean by that is a little bit for the bowlers, a little bit for the batters. That's when we can judge who their best seamer is. But yeah, one game, that's a bit of an overreaction if you ask me. Yes, he got a triple wicket maiden. Yes, he got 7 for the Test. Looked fitter, sharper, good seam movement. But I don't know. That pitch, I reckon I could have bowled on there and got a few. So yeah, we'll leave that one for judgment. Wait for their full lineup. Hopefully Jofra comes back in for the second game. We can see from there. But yeah, look, I don't think Mark Wood's coming back. Gus Atkinson, if he's not as consistent, might move out of the way for Jofra. Though again, what the fuck was Bashir doing there? Like, man, he's got the best career in the world. Prove nothing, get it all for free. Get saved in the Ashes because no one wants to play you, therefore your reputation's not tarnished. Like, far out. Can someone use your fucking head? Like, get rid of him. Wait for a proper dust bowl at the Oval or something, but you don't have to play him. Australia didn't play Nathan Lyon in half the Ashes games before he did his hammy or calf. It's just so obvious, and yet management, there's so many politics going on. It's just agendas, politics, it's bullshit, man. But was the Lord's pitch actually unacceptable? Yep, it's not set standard. Pretty obvious there, I think, if you watched most of the deliveries. I said first ball of the game dropped, like basically just dribbled. Bad start. Jacob Bethel, Ravindra, they had a few balls that, basically just snaked through the pitch and took their stumps. Like, Josh Tongue played a few drives right off the toe of the bat. Like, yeah, that pitch was shit. Good movement for the bowlers. Again, take it while you can because you're going to get some flatties, but that wasn't Test standard. And the pitch at Lords, look, they said it's going to take 6 months to relay the grass. They've done that. Cool. Unfortunately, the 22 yards in the middle of the oval are the thing that matter, and apparently it's going to take 3 years to replace. Well, if you got to do it, you got to do it. Because so far, World Test Championship final was good, but not great. The Ashes next year, if it's anything like this, will be shit. Like, come on. Like, if you got to sacrifice a bit of money, you got to sacrifice a bit of money because it's not the home of cricket if it's going to be like this shit. So, I would say not good enough for cricket. Going to have to do something about it. Your little steam tent didn't work. It's pretty random. not consistent. At least get 2 days of good cricket, then let it go to shit. So, yeah. Emilio Gay, has he locked himself in? Yeah. I'd say that 57 was worth 120 on a good pitch. He made the biggest batting statement of this game. Calm under pressure, had a game plan, stuck to it, had intent, didn't swing at everything, trusted his defence, trusted his offence. I would say that he was compact and made that pitch look very different while he was in. Yes, he snicked off and got dropped. If you count it as a drop, because Darryl Mitchell didn't even get a hand on it, I think he got a shoe to it. But I would say that was the best innings of the entire match. Apart from Glenn Phillips' 44 not out, I'm slightly biased. I love watching him play. But who knows what that 44 would have turned into if the rest of the team didn't get out. But 57, top of the order, no ball. Pressure on to start the second innings, only a small lead. And then got out to a good ball. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That 57's worth a lot more. Didn't make the 100. I don't think you need to, exactly when you've got 64 games from Pope and Crawley, and they did not much. I'd say he's already a safer option long-term up there. Looked good with Ben Duckett. They were a good combo. Bethel looked pretty good at 3. I mean, again, on that pitch, it's hard to make much judgment on these batters. So I think they found they probably locked in their opener now for this series and the next. Give him a chance to actually flourish. So looked like a good dude as well. And got his first catch at short leg. So ticking off first for him. He was good. Again, you've got James Rue in the squad. Love to see him get a crack. And as we'll talk about DanLawrence later, he's in the form of his life as well. So there's a few batters sitting around the team makeup ready to go if anything else happens to anyone in the middle order. 2 more takeaways, questions from this game. Second last is Ben Stokes. What's going on? Move to number 7. Yes, it's a tough pitch. The way that guy acts every time he gets out looks like he's got ball of the century. I saw that on a post from, I don't know, Talking Shit Cricket or whatever it was. Couldn't agree more. In the Ashes, every time he got out, it looked like the weight of the world was on him, and we could respect that. Already 2 innings into this summer, looking at the pitch, looking at everything, it's like, bro, the ball you got bowled on in the second innings, I wouldn't have said was an absolute jaffa. I would have said Will O'Rourke's was a much better ball than the one you got, and yet Will O'Rourke just walked back to the pavilion. And you just stared at the pitch, had this wry smile, like, grow up. Please grow up. Your technique's just not what it was 3 years ago. Like, all right, you either got to get back in the lab or play a bit more cricket. Like, it's pretty fucking simple. Anyway, bowled well. Captained pretty well. They won. No pressure there. But yeah, I just think if you could just have a bit more to you instead of just looking down like it's not your fault every time you get out, that would be really appreciated. Much like Marnus Labuschagne, rubbing me the wrong way lately because every time he gets out, he's like, oh, it's fuck pitch, great ball, whatever. It's like, bruh, like, more often than not, batters are going to get themselves out. And I can respect someone that at least said, oh, well, played my way, got out. Ben Duckett sticks true to himself, man. Like, hard on your sleeve kind of guy. Last question from this game is England's culture problem back already? Yes, this is back to our opening statement, our headline. England won the test, but immediately the headlines shift to a nightclub incident involving Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson. This instantly opens up the discipline debates, the basketball culture criticism, Ashes fallout conversations, even the New Zealand tour where Harry Brook was captain and he got into some trouble. Do they have a drinking problem, party problem, don't take it seriously enough problem? Are the curfews working? Does McCullum have a tight enough string, standards? Does Rob Key have any fucking say? Oh, it's a mess. Can England fully move on from the chaos of the Ashes tour? From this immediate report, and we don't have any idea really what's going on between Ben Stokes, Gus Atkinson and his nightclub, but happened as soon as they won the game. Went out that night. Something happened. We'll get more news on that soon, but that was poopies. Not great. Yeah, I don't think Ben Stokes will get dropped as captain or anything. He's too good. But depending what happened in this nightclub, fuck. I mean, yeah. I think let's just keep the headlines on Lord's pitch and England winning. Let's not bring any other shit into it. And they've already brought other shit into it. So you're like, well done, idiots. Looking like the Ashes is already ours in Australia next year. Thank you. We'll just take that one now. But we have our own issues in Australia, which we'll get to later. So, yeah, we'd love to get a bit more information on that. But, yeah, not looking good for those two, that's for sure. Anyway, hopefully Game 2, which starts in a week, is a lot more watchable. All right, India, Afghanistan. This is a quick one. India won quite comprehensively. India got up by an innings and 300 runs. I mean, it's an only test. It's Afghanistan's, 12th test or something. It's not a huge amount, but first innings, KL Rahul gets 100. Sai Sudarshan, 81. Shubman Gill, 126. Rishabh Pant, 81. Washington Sundar, 52, not out. They pile on 564 for 8. I thought the seamers for Afghanistan were pretty, they showed a lot of heart in that heat. Apparently it's fucking hot over there, so well done to them. They didn't do themselves any disservice by putting in that kind of performance. Yes, the scoreboard doesn't look good, but they bowled their heart out. There's just some discipline things that happen when you've got a young team, inexperienced team. So, odd short ball, loose ball, and on a pitch where it just sat up. Yeah, you don't want that. But yeah, Afghanistan go in, get rolled for 152. Ramat Shah's the only one that can say he did anything with 60. But the Indian spinner Manav Suthar on debut, 22 overs, 6 for 33. That's a pretty handy little outing. Kuldeep Yadav's in this side, 10 overs, none for 32. Obviously, Afghanistan were a lot more comfortable playing the left arm wristy than the finger spinner. They get sent in for a follow-on, done for 112. Only Sadiq Atal at the top of the order with 42 could say he did anything. And again, it's just the way this game is basically just the inexperience shows. They got cooked in the first day and a half fielding that long, and then they just didn't have the mental batting strength to get through it. So in the second innings, Kuldeep Yadav got 3 for 30. Washington Sundar 4 for 36. Just demolished him. Not much to take out of this game other than India looked pretty good against some minnows, and the crowds. You heard Ravi Shastri and Sunil Gavaskar just talking a bit of shit about the crowds, saying Test cricket might be dead, especially in India, now that the stars have moved on. They moved on Kohli, Rowett. They still got Jasprit, but the batting stars have definitely been moved on and in a new era now. They played at the wrong stadium. I think it was, 80,000 seats, and it must have been only 15,000 there. It looked empty. Hopefully this isn't the death of Test cricket. It's just because they were playing Afghanistan. But if India's not getting crowds, not looking good for the rest of us. So, interesting game. The squads for Australia and Bangladesh, the one day has come out. Interesting names been not mentioned. There's no Travis Head, no Marsh, Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark. We knew the big three bowlers were out. Thought Head and Marsh would be back in. They stayed out. Rumours of them using this as a boycott to ask for more money, privatise the BBL. Apparently the whole privatisation of the BBL is just to get more money on their central contracts. I hope that's not true, because that's pretty selfish, and you got to think about the longevity of cricket in Australia, and I know most of those guys are 30 onwards, so that would be incredibly selfish in my mind, but whatever. They know more about this than I do. In is Ollie Peake, Todd Murphy, Matt Short stays on, Liam Scott, Xavier Bartlett and Ben Dorshus all come in. First game is currently on. Bangladesh are 2 for 106 after 16 overs. Yes, they just lost one. Nathan Ellis has both wickets, and Liam Scott has debuted 4 overs, none for 27 so far. So, not a rollicking debut by any means, but it looks like Cooper Connolly is going to open the batting, along with Matt Short. Josh Inglis at 3, Marnus at 4, Alex Carey at 5, Cam Green at 6, Renshaw at 7, Scott at 8. So a bit more like we said how it should be structured. Would have liked to see Ollie Peake get another go, but I also would have liked to see, Marnus drop out, Renshaw in at 4, Peake at 7, give the youngster a go, but they're not going to go that way. So Marnus gets another crack at it. I have seen the stats. The World Cup is next year. It's in South Africa. He averages like 90 in South Africa, so I imagine that's why they're sticking strong with him. But yeah, I don't think I would. But I ain't selecting. Marnus has obviously got a bit of good faith, so hopefully they can get up in this first one. But I'd say Bangladesh are doing pretty well, honestly, to start with. So we'll see how that one unfolds. And to finish with, Surrey and Hampshire. 2 days into the 2 days into their 4-day county fixture. DanLawrence, day 1, piles on 218 off 190 deliveries, batting at 4 for Surrey. Go back and watch that innings. Pretty good. Didn't let anyone settle. Poor Felix Organ just went the journey. Tom Press went the journey. Anyone went the journey. Delano, Potgata. The only one that can say they did all right was Sonny Baker and Kyle Abbott, but even Sonny went. So, hell of an innings there. And it shows you, he opened for England against Sri Lanka. Yes. Out of position. Just so obvious. But middle order player, if a spot ever comes available, James Drew and DanLawrence right there. And it just depends. Left, righty, both pretty aggressive. DanLawrence definitely more so. Can bowl a little bit of off spin, so it provides you some good options. But yeah, opening's not his role. 4, 5, 6, definitely him. So you got 218 off 190, and I think a few days ago against Hampshire again in the T20 got 94 not out off 47. So poor Hampshire have faced I don't know, they bowled to him 200 odd deliveries for 300 odd runs. So they're probably pretty sick of DanLawrence right now. But as that game currently stands, it's 3 for 122 Hampshire's reply. A lot of rain on day 2. Jake Lehman not out, 32. Sonny Baker 3 not out. So Hampshire have a bit to go here, but no Ben Mays. Would love to see him play a bit more for Hamps, but they're not doing much this year, Hampshire. So why not blood the young? But again, not there. So interesting decisions all around there. But hey, look, we've got plenty of county cricket coming up. Australia, Bangladesh, the Sri Lanka, West Indies, and at some stage we'll have the next test. But we've also got the Women's T20 World Cup starting not too far away. So plenty of cricket coming up. But yeah, let's hope the next game for England, New Zealand is, 4 or 5 days of good cricket. We see some better fielding, better tactics, and let's just hope that Australia can win against Bangladesh, because if we can't beat Pakistan or Bangladesh, our World Cup chances are taking a big fucking hit. So even without 5 of our best players, so take that with a grain of salt. But hey, any questions, queries, send them in. Always love debating cricket, basketball, whatever you got. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, being part of this journey. We will catch you next time.